So it's looking like it's gonna be a real rough time out here if I can't get a shelter up and a fire going with the limited tools that I brought here in this canister. This is everything I brought. This is all the tools that I brought here on this trip. I got the clothes on my back, I got the camera equipment in my bag, as well as a bit of food, but other than that, this is everything. So I'll show you everything I brought on this trip, but it's getting kind of late in the day, so we should find a place to set up a shelter and find some firewood around, because otherwise it's gonna be a real struggle of a time. So I think somewhere in here is great. I think I'm just gonna start collecting firewood, because we got a ton of firewood that we need to collect. There's lots of flat areas in here. This should be good. Let me show you what I have in my bag. We have camera equipment. This is, well, thermometer, thermostat. This is all food. Nothing else in the bag. Of course, I could get through the night without food. That's not a problem, but this is a YouTube video and we're here to enjoy ourselves. So we brought some food. Okay, what's in the bottle? The bot. So this doubles as a canister, like a container. You can boil water in it and you can transport water in it. This thing's pretty handy. I got headlamp, paracord, got a knife and multi-tool, ferro rod. I have a Mylar blanket, an 8x12 plastic sheet. This thing is very thin. And then something I've never tested before. Actually, well, bit of duct tape for repairs, and then something I've never tested before, but this is a pocket chainsaw. So hopefully this thing works, because if it doesn't, it'll be a very cold night. So I've seen mixed reviews with these things. This is a cheap one that I got online. It really all comes down to this thing right here, and this is untested, so fingers crossed. All right, we already got some birch bark a little earlier, so I think now we just look for some decent trees, cut them at the base, haul them over here, and just accumulate as much wood as possible. Currently -3, -4. It's gonna get colder though. Well, let's hope this works. This is a nice piece of hardwood. Actually, there's a few pieces around here. Actually, there's a good amount of hardwood around here. Okay, so that's looking good. It's just a matter of, can we get it with this thing? That's working. That's working very well. I should have got out of the way, but I wanted to save the saw. Okay, that worked. Two more nice pieces right here. There's a good one. That's a good one. In fact, a little bit too large for us though. Let's start with these. A little stupid, but it was all good. I don't think I need to point out how stupid that was. Don't do that. Yeah, this isn't looking like the best hardwood. Unfortunately, it's a little punky. Maybe it'll burn slow, but to haul back, maybe I'll cut it into. This is probably gonna be the best piece here. Ooh, no water in that one. I figured it'd be a lot better because this one still has a little bit of the bark on it. I mean, it's missing most of its bark, but it still has a little bit left. So it's dried out more recently compared to some of the other ones that I had just no bark on them at all. So this will be a nice piece to burn. thing is doing the trick. A nice addition to the pocket saw in the survival kit would be a little sharpener. I'm not applying much pressure, I'm letting the saw do the trick, or do all the work, but I still feel like these teeth will eventually dull out. And if you look, there's teeth running both ways on the pocket saw. Way more than you would see on a chainsaw. Lots of teeth, very cool item. This thing is effective. Okay. Yeah, we did pretty good. That's pretty damn good. It's a good amount of wood. This is going to make a good spot for my shelter because it's nice and flat in between these two trees. And it has a nice gentle downslope this way, facing away from the fire, which is going to be very helpful for the type of fire I'm going to be creating, which will make sense in a little bit. But let's just clear out this area and make it nice and comfortable because I want to start making that shelter, maybe even get that fire going, because it'll just feel like home. If you guys watched last week, you remember the shelter that I built. It was the Morse Kohansky Super Shelter. Well, I'm doing the same thing this week, but instead of using the thicker gauge plastic and the much more durable Mylar sheet, I'm using very, very thin materials, because if I use any of those materials this week, they wouldn't fit into that little canister. So I'm going to be trying it out with this tiny little Mylar sheet, as well as a very, very thin, lightweight piece of plastic. This stuff is wafer thin, and got to be very careful with it. Little toggle, little nub to the Mylar sheet. It pays to know your knots, guys. So far I've used a bowline, a trucker's hitch, a clove hitch, a prusik, and 2 square knots. So I'll link a video down below in which I teach you guys most of the knots, actually all the knots except for the clove hitch. Okay, that's good enough. It's probably about as good as it's gonna get. So we're gonna be doing a Siberian log fire tonight, and the reason why I wanted this gentle downslope here is because I don't plan to cut the long branches. I plan to just have them laying on top of here and having the entire tree laying on top of there and then fanning out back down this way. And that'll save me a lot of cutting and a lot of effort, and it'll allow me to feed the fire over the course of the night. Alright, so we're going with the Siberian log fire tonight, but kind of a modified version. Generally you have about 6 6-foot pieces, the biggest log being on the bottom, and then you have the 5 other pieces, 5 or more, fanning out from there. And the way this thing works is you light the fire up here in the front, the fire burns the ends of these logs, and it burns nice and slowly. It won't burn down these logs because of the way that they're all fanned out, as well as there being a gentle downslope away from the fire. But because I'm not using 6-foot pieces, I'm using 12 to 20-foot pieces just for simplicity and ease of effort. It's very helpful in this case that I set up the shelter with a gentle downslope away from it, so that instead of there being a nice downslope on these sticks because of the way they're assembled, it's like the hill, the small little decline of the hill, which is making these sticks fan out and fan away from the fire, which will allow it to burn longer. Hopefully that made sense. Anyways, the sun's setting now, so I think let's get that fire sparked up. You do a couple little gentle strokes to grind off some of this stuff, or some of the ferrocerium, and then you do a big stroke, and then it'll light all that, a little dust off. It'll light all the dust on fire. Before you do anything else, before you put this anywhere, you put it right in your pocket, and you zip that pocket closed. Alright. So clearly this Mylar sheet's quite transparent. I still hope that it has reflective properties. I'm sure it does. It's still very shiny, but we'll see how effective it is tonight. So it's 5 o'clock right now. Sunrise is around 7:30, so that means we need to have this fire running for 14 hours in order to keep ourselves warm through the night. Can always get some more wood from around here. Stay tuned to find out if we live or if we die. Oh. The problem with all this is it's wet, which is not ideal mattress material. Everything else is already in my pockets except for the plastic sheet. I'm gonna toss this in my pocket now. I'm not gonna use it for a while until the fire settles out, but I'm gonna use the canister to go get me some water because I'm a thirsty guy, and just over there, there's a little stream, which will be perfect. Looks like decently clear water, a little bit of sediment, but probably be pretty tasty. Let's go boil it so we don't get sick. So this canister is pretty cool. It's like a bottle in a pot, so you can use it to keep water and also boil water in it because it's titanium. But if you were to get one of these, make sure you take off the O-ring when you boil the water in the pot, because while it's heat resistant, it's not fireproof. So you don't want to destroy that, because otherwise you are looking at a pot that doesn't seal well. Ooh. So these boughs are absolutely covered in snow and frost. So my best bet to stay warm is to dry them out, because sleeping on top of snow and ice, no matter how little it is, it's cold. Currently about -6, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Just leave that to the side, let that cool down. So these balsam fir boughs do seem to be drying out around the fire. There's not enough room to do all of them at the same time, so I'm going to let these dry and then throw in the next batch. But till then, I think I'm going to go look for some more, because this quantity here is not going to keep me warm throughout the night. So I'm just going around taking a little bit off each tree, and then moving on to the next one. Right after I give it a big kiss. Mwah. Thank you for supplying me with some bedding. So last time I slept on spruce boughs, or this is balsam fir boughs, I left a lot of the big branches on, and it was kind of uncomfortable. So this time I'm going to do a better job of getting rid of those big branches. Hopefully give myself a little bit better and more comfortable to sleep. That should be good for the night. And for now, makes a good seat. Not bad. So up to this point, I've been doing pretty good with nothing but what was in that canister. Though, we're gonna switch things up and do a little bit of a cooking sesh, because why not? You know, in a real survival situation, What you could do is you could throw some trap wire into that canister with you and snare rabbits, or potentially snare rabbits, or you could just gnaw off the bark on a tree. Oh my god, I'm so hungry. Yeah, I'm just happy we have some real food. Let's try some of that water from before. It's good water. Where's that O-ring at? Got a sweet potato here. Get it covered in oil. My spoon. That'll do. That's all you need. All right, the potato's done. So I'm gonna get the pork sticks, whatever they're called. We're gonna put cheese on here. I don't know if cheese goes good on sweet potato. Might be ruining it, but I think it's impossible to ruin something with cheese. Green onions, and then more cheese, more green onions. Doesn't really close anymore. Okay, yeah, those are dry. It's you know the spruce boughs are dry when they catch on fire. A plate. That's more water. Looks pretty good to me. A bit of sour cream. Can't wait for that. Dinner. This is exciting. A potato is essential in a survival situation. It's like as essential as like a knife, a saw, paracord, potato. It's definitely cheating a bit because a full stomach will definitely help you keep warm in a survival situation. So, oh, that was good. Thank you. Hello. Hey. Go. That's done. That food really warmed the soul. Do you know what else warms the soul? A liter of hot chocolate. Meat stick. Oh yeah! So it's just boiling, so we'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait. And so the base log has burnt through already. We'll just, I don't know. We'll just maybe compress them and keep going that way. And then we'll just pull these up every once in a while, and that's our fire for the night. I think we throw the sheet up and see how much heat we can trap inside the shelter. You gotta be very delicate with this thing. It's wafer thin. Mind you, it seems to have a little bit of a stretch to it. Yeah, that's good. So I don't think it'll just rip. For those of you who didn't watch my video last week, this is the Morse Kochanski Super Shelter, and the way this thing works is the radiant heat from the fire comes through this plastic here, reflects off the mylar, and then gets trapped within this bubble of a shelter. I'm gonna have to make some close pegs to close this thing shut. It doesn't get airtight in there. I think it's impossible. There's always gonna be air gaps. So there's no threat of suffocation. Oh, it's hot. Oh, that's so good. Oh, it's so warm though. That is a lot of hot cocoa. So this is a pretty simple design for a clothes peg. These are green branches. They have to be green. Take a little stick like this, cut it about halfway down, and then you peel it back on both ends, just a little bit. And there you go, that's your close peg. It's not perfect, but it should do the trick. Still about -5, -6 out. Okay, we're coming in. Whoa! Got my scalding hot chocolate. And we'll pin the... Oh my god, that's good. This is working. I'm comfy. 12, 13 degrees in here. Coming out the birth canal. We're creating a greenhouse. So the fire's likely going to be burning like this for the majority of the night. So I'm going to pull the whole thing half a foot closer, maybe a foot. I don't know, we'll try that out. Could literally be playing with fire here. Honestly, it's not even all that bad of an idea to throw a little bit of candy or chocolate in a survival kit, because it'll just give you that like little boost of morale. It's just so delicious. Oh, so delicious. I have a couple ideas on how I'd improve what's in this canister that I'll tell you guys all about at the end of the video if we make it through. If we make it to the end. If we survive. Pretty good. Oh, there it is. Finally ripped it. I stabbed right through the mylar here. See that? There's that little duct tape that came in the kit. Okay, dang a beauty. Fortunately, the plastic here is it's really flexible. So it's stretchy, which is kind of nice as opposed to it being more brittle. So the pocket saw is quite sharp. I just nicked myself a little bit. It's not deep, it's very superficial. But I have a bit of tissue from dinner and some duct tape. Should do the trick. Alright, that's it for me. I'm heading to bed. I'm going to set up a time lapse and you'll see the fire movement and me stirring as I catch some Z's. I'm going to probably pop out every hour or so to re-stoke the fire, and by that I mean pull these logs forward. But it looks like I have plenty of wood. I am not concerned about the amount of wood we have. In any case, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everyone. I slept great. I slept phenomenally. It was very warm and comfortable in the shelter. Every time it got cold, I got up and I pulled the logs closer. The bedding was awesome. I was nice and insulated from the ground. I'd say I had to wake up probably every hour and a half to move these logs closer. Turns out I probably have about double the wood that I needed. This Siberian log lay, this is the way to do it. It's snowing. That was a great night's sleep and I feel well rested. The super shelter worked great. Siberian log lay was appropriate for the situation, and everything I brought in the canister was used. Though I think the star of the show was definitely the pocket chainsaw. This thing worked way better than I expected. And for the type of fire that I created, the Siberian log fire, I only had to make like 6 to 10 cuts. This thing worked phenomenally. If I were to change anything in the pot, probably bring some sort of sharpening device for the pocket saw, as well as maybe some band-aids I did nick myself. I'd also bring some snare wire to be able to procure food from the woods, or at least have a chance at it, and maybe bring some hot chocolate or some sort of candy for moral support. Other than that, pretty stoked with everything in the pot and the pot itself. In any case, pretty stoked about this whole experience overall. It was a good one, but I still have an excess of firewood, so probably gonna crawl back in the shelter and enjoy the radiant heat as this snow comes down. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. If you guys are interested in any of the items I use in this video, I'll leave a link down below. And if you guys have any suggestions for items, challenges, anything like that, leave a comment. I'm always open and I'm always reading the comments. Even though I can't get to all of them, I often read, you know, I'd say 95% of them. And while you're at it, might as well hit that like button because, hey, you made it this far in the video. And if you haven't already, might as well subscribe because we're going to be making videos like this all winter long, and it's going to be a real fun time. Yeah. Subscribe.